Hello, YouTube! We want to welcome you to a Wednesday edition of Big E Sports. This is your host, Eric the Big E Green. Now, what happened in sports last night? Well, let's take a look. Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers suffered their first loss of the season as the Boston Celtics defeated the Cavaliers 120-117. Brooklyn Nets edged out the Charlotte Hornets 116-115. What a game that was, folks. We also had the Denver Nuggets. They picked up the win over the Memphis Grizzlies 122-110. Dallas Mavericks over the New Orleans Pelicans 132-91. It was the San Antonio Spurs over the Oklahoma City Thunder 110-104. And finally, the LA Lakers over the Utah Jazz 124-118. Now, there's a lot of games going on in the NBA today. Also, we have college basketball. So what's going on? Well, we have the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Chicago Bulls are taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Indiana Pacers are taking on the Houston Rockets. Philadelphia 76ers are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Portland Trail Blazers are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Atlanta Hawks are taking on the Golden State Warriors. New York Knicks is taking on the Phoenix Suns. And finally, the Orlando Magic is taking on the LA Clippers. So, what's your score prediction for those games today? Well, comment on YouTube. Last night in the MAC conference in college football, we had Akron over Kent State 38-17, Central Michigan over Western Michigan 16-14. Miami of Ohio was a winner over Northern Illinois 20-9. And last night was the rankings of the college football playoffs. Number 1 was the Oregon Ducks. Number 2 was the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 3 was the Texas Longhorns. Number 4 was the Penn State Nittany Lions. Number 5 was the Indiana Hoosiers. Number 6 was the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Number 7 was the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 8 was the Miami Hurricanes. Number 9 was the Ole Miss Rebels. Number 10 was the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 11 was the Tennessee Volunteers. Number 12 was the Boise State Broncos. Number 13 was the SMU Mustangs. Number 14 was the BYU Cougars. Now, what does that mean if the season was over today? Well, BYU would play Ohio State. The winner of that game would play Boise State. Alabama would play Notre Dame. The winner of that game would play Oregon. Georgia would play Penn State. The winner of that game would play Miami. And finally, Ole Miss would play Indiana. And the winner of that game would play Texas. Now, tonight in college basketball, it's the CM Newton Classic. Alabama is facing Illinois. That ought to be a good game to watch. What's your score prediction? Well, comment on YouTube. Now, tonight there is 2 college football games. They're both from the MAC Conference. It will be Buffalo Bulls taking on the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan needs to win the game to go bowl eligible. And finally, Ohio Bobcats are taking on the Toledo Rockets. So, what's your score prediction for those 2 games? Well, comment on YouTube. That is going to do from me today. Have a blessed day.